Orkney Brewery, Orkney Gold.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got one here from Bonnie Jockland, and it is the Orkney Brewery, Orkney Gold. Now this is one of the first ones that they brewed, and it's a golden ale, as the name suggests. Now if you've never heard of the Orkney Brewery before, they are well worth checking out. I don't think to date that I've had a bad one from the Orkney Brewery. Every single one has been good. They do some really good red ale, the Red McGregor. That was fantastic. For me, the standout beer from them was Dark Island. That is an absolutely amazing beer. I've had it in the bottle and I've had it from draft as well, and from draft it is something else. It really is good. I've also tried their Skull Splitter, which was amazing as well. Now that's a pretty strong beer, but if you like old ale, if you like big ethanol, if you like that really full-bodied, rich barley wine type beer, you will like Skull Splitter. So this one is intriguing because, being a traditional brewery, they've sort of bucked the trend with the usual ingredients, and they've put American hops in this, but I'll get onto them later. But this was the first one that they brewed. Now, Orkney Brewery, as the name suggests, come from the Orkney Islands, and they have been dishing out beer for a number of years now, since the 1980s, I think. And yeah, as I say, the beer is really good. I remember once I was in Scotland, in a Wetherspoons, in a Scottish airport. I think it might have been, it was Edinburgh, or was it Glasgow? It was one of the two. Anyway, I think it was Glasgow actually, and they had Dark Island on tap, and it was absolutely amazing. I've also had Dark Island down here as well, and honestly, if you ever see any of the Orkney Brewery stuff on draft anywhere, get it, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be fantastic. And they do a wide range of stuff, and they do like the old Viking theme, because you know, as you know, the Orkney Islands were settled by the Vikings, and they use that in their beer themes quite a lot, which again is something I like. The brewery, as I say, they have been going since the 1980s, and the quality of the beer is consistently good. Now, you know, you don't have to take my word for it. You know, if you try any of their beers, especially the Red McGregor, the Dark Island, or the Skull Splitter, I mean, they are 3 absolutely standout British beers for me. Really are good, and I like what they do. However, the Golden Ale I have not tried before, so let's see what this is all about. Right, now this is a Golden Ale, and it has got me slightly worried because they're using American style hops in this. They're using the Amarillo, Cascade and Columbus hops in here. Now the Cascade and Columbus are pretty similar. They're very floral, citrusy. The Cascade does have, or it tends to have, grapefruit citrus on it as well, which can be a bit overpowering in some beers. Some people don't like that bitterness. I don't mind it to an extent, as long as it's controlled. When you start getting stupid, you know, going into the West Coast IPA territory, that can get a bit too much. And I wouldn't say it's an acquired taste, but if you're drinking a British Golden Ale, you shouldn't really be expecting that harsh grapefruit in there. But that's what they've put in there, so you know, that's by the by. It's also the Columbus hops, though. They do share some characteristics of British hops, notably the Target hop. The spiciness of the Target hop you do get in Columbus, so that sort of seems like a reasonably logical type of hop to use. I'm just looking on here, it says refreshingly crisp, hoppy golden ale with zesty sweet lemon, mandarin and apricot flavours. Okay, 500ml bottle, 4.5%. Orkney Gold is well balanced, crisp, refreshing, hoppy beer. Brewed by hand in Orkney, in tune with the ecology of our beautiful corner of the Northern Isles. Visit our 5-star visitor centre and brewery. Unfortunately, won't be doing that now because of COVID, which is a real shame. On the nose, sweet malt with lemon and apricot notes. On the palate, refreshing, crisp and zesty, sweet lemon, mandarin and apricot on the palate. Balanced by a juicy malt background. A juicy malt background? I don't think I've ever had a juicy malt background before. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get this open. Okay, it is the 23rd of December. I really should be reviewing Christmas beer. I've got a few in the fridge still, but fuck it. I couldn't wait to do this. I was getting wound up by a German mate sending me over. There's the cap there, by the way. I was getting wound up by a German mate sending me over how cheap the beer is in Germany. Honestly, the prices are so cheap, and he really likes the Orkney Brewery stuff. So to get back on him, I said I had a bottle of this. So that's why I'm drinking that, because I got it out and I thought, fuck it, I might as well try some. So here we are. Yep, and that does look like a golden ale. Oops, head's gone a bit haywire on that. There it is in the glass, very clear, golden amber, light golden amber. Head is quite big, but it looks nice. Oh yeah, I can get them American hops in there. Getting that grapefruit, and there's some herbal type notes. Interesting. I am getting the grapefruit, but there's also something else on there as well. It's quite sweet. It's like peach. And they said apricot, but to me it's a little bit sweeter than that. But there, the grapefruit is there. You can definitely get that, which is, I don't know whether I'm going to like this or not. And that's going to be a real shame, because it probably will be the first one from the Orkney Brewery that I don't really care for. There it is in the glass, very clear, 1.5 finger foamy white head. Let's get it down the hatch. Bottoms up. Now that is not bad. Oh, nice biscuit malt finish on the end. And that's quite a short finish on there. But it's quite nice, I have to say. Right, the one thing that immediately hits me is the super smooth mouthfeel and the lovely head on this. It just pushing them flavours around on the palate. And there is a touch of that grapefruit bitterness, but it isn't big, which is good, because I had visions of this being quite bitter, and on a British golden ale you shouldn't really get that. Oh, it's so smooth. Nice subtle earthy notes in there. Fair bit of floral notes on there too as well. Like, I wouldn't say perfumey, but well, it is. It's a little perfumey, if you know what I mean. That's quite nice. There's quite big earth on there too, and that seems to be dulling the flavours a little bit. And I have to say, it's quite strange because you sort of drink it and you think, oh, this is going to be like, you know, full of bitterness, full of lemon, but the flavours aren't that big. The mandarin and the apricot they're talking about, not massive on this. But I have to say, all in all, the whole package together is really drinkable. That's what immediately springs to mind, and that's what I'm left with. You know, you take a mouthful and you think, oh, there might be some flavours in here that I'm not going to be keen on. But they never materialise. And instead you're left with a very smooth, very drinkable golden ale. Now the body on this is quite nice, and it's got wheat in it as well. So that would go to explaining that. But I'll tell you something, this is not bad at all. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really well rounded. That's the word I'm looking for. There's no spikes of bitterness, no harsh flavours. It's just all the flavours there, like the earth, the biscuit malt, the lemon is there. It's really well rounded, and the carbonation on it, it's just everything is in perfect balance. That is a really nice golden ale. And to be honest, I was a bit sceptical when I first saw it, and I saw they'd put American hops in there, and I thought, oh, why have they done that? You know, I thought this was going to be full of, you know, big citrus flavours, that resin and grapefruit that you normally get in American style pale ales. But I have to say, this is really drinkable. But the winner for me is the mouthfeel. That's what is making it so drinkable. And I've gone through a pint in that short, well, I've gone through over half a pint in that short space of time. That's how drinkable it is. I really like that. That is a good one. What's the verdict on Orkney Gold? Well, I had some misgivings about this beer when I first saw it. Now, Orkney Brewery, I love what they do. I love their ethics. I love the way they're very proud of their roots, and they make a big thing about it on their beer. I had reservations about this because the American hops were just ringing alarm bells with me, but I have to say, they really have come up trumps with it. That is a lovely golden ale, and yeah, they've used American hops in it, but the balance is perfect. And it's super drinkable. I mean, that is really, really drinkable. That's what is making the biggest impression on me, just how drinkable that is, how well rounded, the mouthfeel, the carbonation, the flavours, just the whole package. It's just the perfect balance for me. Oh, that's really nice. That is really good. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. And I'm going to say this is a brilliant golden ale. Now, to be honest, golden ale is not my favourite style because they can be really hit and miss. Sometimes you get big spikes of bitterness in there. You can get some funny flavours in there as well that, you know, golden ale is... It's not my favourite style of beer, if you know what I mean. But I have to say, this is really good. That is going to go down as one of my favourite golden ales because it's really nice. And yeah, that is a solid 8.5 out of 10. That is definitely recommended. And I think it's £2.85 a bottle. And it's not really a winter drink, to be honest. But you know, if you put these in the fridge in the summer, this would go down perfect with a barbecue, or you know, even if you're just meeting up with a few mates. Just these are so easy drinking. No massive flavours in it that you're gonna sort of get a bit tired of. That's a really good, solid golden ale. That's 8.5 out of 10 from me, and that is recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.